What
All
time
right.
frame are you on with Facebook?
This one here, I'm just on the 1 hour.
Okay.
I usually draw my trend lines in the 1 hour and then jump down to the 15 to trade it.
Okay, got it.
Uh,
I wonder if they're gonna change the name on the app.
I don't think so because Meta platforms is just like their, it's like the whole thing, like everything they own, like Instagram and everything, just falls underneath that name. So like
Oh, like Google
on
now?
paper, yeah, yeah, and like Amazon owns Twitch and all that, blah blah blah. Like everything will be on like on all their paperwork, you'll see Meta, which that
Facebook
stuff.
is actually gonna shell out. What was it, like 20 million to that one person?
There was some stuff the other day I seen talking about a bunch of tickers to kind of keep an eye on for this Meta stuff because they're basically saying it's like the second internet or going to be like the second internet. Like people are going to be buying Nikes for their, virtual avatar and all this stuff, and that'll be in like a digital currency most likely. So
Lord have mercy.
if Metaverse grows and gets big, and then they announce using Bitcoin, that'll uh that'll rocket some stuff. Anyway, so Facebook looking for most likely for it to pull back because we see that it just let me hit the auto just came out of this bear trend. And I think this let's see, October 18th, 19th, 18th, that's when I think they announced that Meta news, I believe. So just looking for it. Let me zoom in here. Just looking for it to pull back. These green areas, they're just kind of like a projection deal on this second one mainly. So it's got to pull back and find somewhere of support. So I don't think it'll reach this support down here. So let's see where this one is. 324.54. So let's just call it 325. And then we got a couple in here that the Vision SNR is showing us around 332, 333. I just look for that to be around a whole number. Um, Honestly, I think 325 looks good, but Facebook seems to keep its pullbacks and moves pretty tight for the most part. So it could just be that first one there, just a small little pullback and then pick back up off of it. So anyway, look for some put opportunities on Facebook come next week, this week. Don't just jump into it though. Do not jump into it.
Don't do it.
Wait till you see it confirmed. Let me look in the watch list and see if I shouted anything else out, and then we can all go over and see if we can find anything. No, I don't think that was
So
it.
you're thinking it's gonna go past the 9-day moving average? Is that correct?
Let me add that on my deal here. I think that defaults to the 9. Are you looking at the 1 hour too?
I switched to a different chart, and
Because
I have kind of a cheat sheet on it that says the 9-day was 327.42, but I
well, see, here's the thing. Okay,
still constantly moving.
everybody
Yeah.
everybody needs to listen. The moving average does not count days unless you're on a daily chart.
Well, I
It
understand.
counts candles. So a 9 EMA would count 9 candles of average movement. Unless you're on the 9 day or the daily chart, then the 9 EMA your EMA line would then count days because each candle is a day. So let me jump to the daily chart here and we'll see. Ooh, I gotta hide this stuff. Hmm. Um, who was talking? Who asked me about the 9?
I did. It's Tammy.
Tammy.
I
Okay.
I think I'm on a daily
Um,
chart.
Tammy, if you typically with a 9, like with a 9 EMA SMA, um, that's usually kind it's kind of hard to explain.
Okay.
Cash might remember back in Telegram. We were in Telegram. It's a really popular day trading length for your moving average.
Right.
So what I would expect is I believe you're right. I think it will come back to the 9. I don't think
Okay.
that it'll really get below it.
It'll cross up.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't think it'll get below it
Okay.
because now that we've changed from a bearish trend to a bullish trend, if it stays in the bullish trend, it should stay above that 9, or at least
Above that.
it
Okay.
might
So
poke it a
that
little bit, but
and what I'm looking at, and again, I could be reading this wrong. It says it crosses the 9-day moving average at 327.42.
yeah, then
But I could be wrong about
they
that.
should be talking about the daily chart then, which they most
Okay.
likely are. People usually chart on that.
That's
Okay.
exactly what they're talking about. If you look, that third candle,
Yeah.
it crosses above the 9 MA at about, I'm guessing that would be 327.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and this daily candle right here, this last daily candle. Let me see if I can zoom in on this sucker. That I mean, let me there we go. That's like a beautiful telltale sign that hey, we should be pulling back because you can see that it's like I always visualize this like a picture book in my head. Like there's people standing on top of the body of this candle shoving it
Yeah.
down, and they're stronger
Yeah.
than the buyers underneath it. So they
Right.
won,
Gotcha.
they won that battle. And so
Yeah.
that's a beautiful sign that we should be getting a pullback.
Okay.
And let me just look at my stochastic here. Yeah, stochastic's pretty up there, so I would expect one for sure.
Honestly, it makes sense with all the news we have coming out this week.
Yeah. And then
They
we're
always.
getting, we're getting some resistance here from the Vision SNR at 344. Um, but the the last 2 months of the year are always the strongest months for the market. So, like I said, don't jump into anything just blindly.
Do you think that they're still going to be the strongest, even with the inflationary pressure? I mean, we haven't had inflationary pressure for like
Well,
since the 80s. I don't feel like.
if they'd tell the truth, no. You know?
Yeah.
But they're sugarcoating everything, so
Right. I just feel like we're kind of in not unprecedented times, but
yep,
times a lot of people haven't seen since the 80s.
yep.
And so I don't think a lot of people are factoring in like what could happen.
Mhm. Yeah, I
If you look at it, we're in the same situation as 2008.
yeah, I think if they start telling the truth or just can't hide it anymore, then we'll see some nice pullbacks everywhere. But until then, everybody else
Right.
seems bullish.
Ride it along.
Let's see. Does anybody else have any let's see. Nvidia we were looking at Friday. I can't remember
Yeah,
this
that
thing.
one I really want to know about. That's one of my favorites.
Let me turn this off and look at this thing again because I can't remember which direction we are going.
There's some big earners this week too, Melon. Who was one of them? Or no?
That you mean cash? You mean earnings already happened?
No, there's one of them. Hold on, let me go look. Somebody commented on my post. The earnings whispers.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Docs.
Let me see if I can.
DOCS. Doximity.
That's what
When
it
is
was.
earnings on that one?
DOCS. That one's
Yep.
Tuesday.
Tuesday? Do you know, is it before or after close?
Oh, hold up.
That's what it was with Nvidia. Man, I thought I saved that.
It'll be at 1700,
There it goes.
so should be after.
Okay.
Ooh, you can watch it live now? That's cool.
What's that?
They had a button where you could click it to be able to watch it live. Or at least, like, listen in on the call live.
That's what it was with NVIDIA. It has this nice range set up on the 15-minute. So I'm going to be looking at it just to either play it if it stays in that range, which it probably will. But if it breaks out of it, either way, pre-market, we'll see what happens. But technically, I mean, if you look at it, let's jump up on like the 30 and turn extended hours off. It's pretty much a straight up bull flag. So just watch it to break out of that range. I mean, if it doesn't break out of it and stays in it, then that's easy money. Because it seemed for a couple days here just kind of stayed in it.
Are you buying things before the market opens, or are you waiting until the market opens, seeing which way it goes for the breakout, and then doing it?
I have to wait till the market opens because I just play options. You know,
Okay.
They don't let you buy them until the market opens. But the only things I really buy shares on are, just a couple things like SRNE. When it gets to a certain price, I just buy it up, and when like WIMI, when it gets to a certain price, I buy it up, and I just hold them until I'm content with how much profit I have and sell it.
WMI, what was it? WMI what?
WIMI.
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 Okay.
It's a Chinese deal. But let me show you the 4-hour chart here.
I'll say anything Chinese kind of scares me nowadays.
Yeah, it likes to get pumped all the time, and it's only like a pre-market, maybe first thing in the morning type of pump. So like when it hits there, like sell it. But consistently comes down, finds a bottom, consolidates on it, and that's where I like to load them up. With just shares, and then one morning when it spikes, I sell it. But these, they'll go $3-4, and they'll go shooting up to 10, 12. SRNE is the same way. I buy it when it goes under 7. This thing, I mean, it's just all the time. If it dips down here below $7, just start just accumulating it up.
Okay.
And it's just a consistent gainer. It's down. It's down there right now, 660, which is at the bottom. I'll draw a line so everybody can see it here. Just when it comes down here and sits down, pick some up, hold it, and just wait. Yeah, this is Sorrento. They're pretty big medical group.
What company is that?
SRNE Sorrento.
That's back from the Telegram.
Thank you.
Yeah. There was another one, U1. This one's okay, but typically it's not as cheap as their kind of other country ticker is U1K. This one's always ripping. Anytime this thing gets under $2, I buy the crap out of it. As you can see, it consistently just makes spikes. So if
on the SRNE, about how far out do you call?
Those I typically don't do options on them because you're just holding them and waiting until it pops. Or like SRNE, it's usually like a slow, gradual kind of just pick up, to around $10, $11. So like last time I did buy calls on them, I think I got them out till 22.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, like I've never had calls make that much profit so fast, and they're cheap. They were like $20 a piece.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, those things when they started printing money, I mean they just printed. I'm assuming just because the open interest on them, people just, I'm assuming, started buying it up because they're probably all doing the same thing. I like
Do you have any opinion on Peloton where it just like?
What is this? PTON, right?
Yep. And it dumped big time. I've been swinging that for a while, and it usually stays pretty consistent. So I imagine it's gonna, like, this is not the bottom. I would imagine it's gonna get down more into like 50 or even 40.
Yeah, it does.
40 something before it comes back up, but I would assume it's gonna come back up at least a decent amount.
Let's see, did it break that support area in pre-market?
Oh, it died.
Yeah, I want to.
It crashed.
Well, it broke this support here, which is most likely why this was a pretty strong support for it, I imagine.
right? They had
I just
their
want to
earnings
see.
report wasn't that hot.
It looks like it's
both
something like that.
and they had another competitor come out with more streaming classes and streaming services. They had kind of a bunch all go wrong in the same time frame.
Yeah.
They had the lawsuit from the treadmill about 6 months ago, or maybe 3 months ago. Maybe it's like 3 months ago. The lawsuit from the treadmill, and then they on this last earnings, this was the first one they'd ever said that they weren't making projections. They cut their price on their treadmill and on their bike. So it was a few things coming together, but it's kind of a fire sale, and it's not bottomed yet because this was just on Friday that it did this.
Well, if you look at the chart here, you see TradingView places that earnings deal exactly basically when that earnings report comes out, and it was end of day. Let's see, this would have been Thursday, huh? And then it just jumped right there before close, and then it fell a little bit. I mean, I'd watch it because the Vision SNR has a support right there at $55, and it's a whole number zone. So, I mean, if you had some call options on it, Monday morning, you could probably make some off a little pullback. But I think you're right. I think it's going to continue. That's all. Like you said, that's a bunch of stuff all at once.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And they shot it straight through that support that it had.
Yeah.
That was a nice drop.
Sheesh.
That's why I think it's going to recover some. I mean, I don't know that it's going to go back up to the 120s, 130s where it usually sat at before.
Not yet. It'll take a while for that.
I really hope Lieutenant Dan took profit.
Oh, you want to know something else?
Anyone putting put options for Tesla this week or next couple weeks?
It's so risky.
I got a couple on it. Hang on, there's weird noise coming from my kid's room. Anyway, I got a couple on it from
That's never a good thing.
Thursday.
Weird noise coming from my kid's room.
Yeah, they're
right. Danger, Will Rogers.
I think one or two of them still ain't asleep. No, I got a Doberman. She'll run in there. She'll tear it up. I just got two more too, little puppies. I don't even. Oh yeah, Tesla. I got a couple of them Thursday because it was due for a pullback. But I mean, I do believe it pulled back for 2 days in a row there. Yeah, it sure did. Thursday, and then we're on this support here that I have drawn. So I would not get puts. I mean, unless it like confirmed breaks through below this, maybe. But if it's probably not going to. I mean, this is kind of everybody's cash cow if you're trading options.
I don't know. Like, not very many people were happy about that whole.
Yeah, but Cash, you know how it is. I mean, I've showed you this stuff before. When does bad news or bad things come out? When it hits a resistance and needs to come out. Thursday, it hit a resistance and it needed to go down. Back to the support, so everybody keep trading. I mean, it's if you start watching when the news comes out, it's always at a resistance.
Or if it's on support.
But I'm good with it. I understand why they do it if they're doing it on purpose, because like, hey, it's on this easy trend right now. It's in this easy range. It's easy to call. Just put it back down where it goes, and we'll all buy calls at the bottom again. So yeah, I'd be definitely careful on Tesla buying puts. Sheesh.
Thanks.
That'll eat up your lunch real quick if it goes against you.
Hey, what do you guys think about space? I got like 20 shares at 17, and then it ripped to like 60, and I was pissed it didn't go high. I didn't get more.
Yeah.
Well,
it did. What did it do? I can't remember what it did when it was running up, and then something happened.
Something coincided with the space launch, I thought.
Yeah, I think he put off, like he delayed when he was gonna launch the next one.
So I've never traded it, but it sure did break that bullish trend here on the 15.
The IV on it's really high. I saw some guy in my Facebook group a couple weeks ago. He had 55 puts and he didn't sell him till it was like 20, or he was like down hundreds of thousands. I'm pretty sure.
So this one's kind of weird. Kind of weird. See, it kind of has like a. Let me color it so you guys can see it. Make it a little bigger. It has a downtrend here, but then it kind of. They must have got some bad news or something right here because it broke way lower. And
I think that was the day he came out with the news that they were delaying or something.
Overall, there was a kind of a downtrend.
Like 2 weeks ago, wasn't it? I want to say it was about 2 weeks that they.
Yeah, that would coincide because I think that was what, October.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
It is. I mean, it's broke lower. We're on the 1 hour, and you can see it was in this trend, broke lower, kind of picked back up, hit that same trend line, and then broke below this. And then I'll show you on the 15-minute. That's mainly what I was looking at.
Yeah.
The green one here.
That day that it really dropped.
You can see it was kind of trending back up, but then once it poked that old trend line, and that's why I say leave at least the last 3 or 4 trend lines on your chart. They'll usually hit them again. Then it kind of broke this, and then hit this trend line, and broke below it. So I mean, I'd be bearish on it come Monday. But I know a lot of people's made money on it in here. I just never traded it.
It was never one that I liked for long term, but it's a nice swing.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that day trade options on it in here. I can see why. It's pretty easy to call if it always moves like this.
I know I day traded some options back when I think it was June.
One record for tomorrow, bro. You should join this vision trading too.
Tell him, man. Tell him.
No, it's a Discord. But they talk about, like, everything going on and shit. Look, right now they're doing it live.
Tell them we're the best. Nobody's better.
People talk about this thing trade and shit.
Yeah, I'd be bearish on space come Monday. I mean, unless they just start shooting up for some odd reason, but I don't see that happening. Airbnb is one I wanted to look at because somebody mentioned it to me.
Yeah, this comes in now.
Airbnb is what you're talking about?
Airbnb, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could send you a.
Yeah, it started popping up on Friday there.
Yeah.
See, these ones like charts like this are hard to chart because when they have a 2-day ripper or a 1-day ripper, I mean, you can't put a trend line on that, You can, back here where it was on this trend, the little nice trend that it had going here. But it sure took off. Looks like it probably had a wedge on it right here. And broke above it when it came to the end. Nice. So that should be setting up a new bullish trend, most likely. With that type of a breakout, holy cow. Broke out of there and ran $25, $26.
Bro, they answer like this, bro.
Question for you.
I was like, how can I send an invite for a friend to join the Discord? Go, not even a second later.
Hey, 392. 392.
So, question for you. If you're not doing options yet, I'm not yet.
Okay.
And you're purchasing on Monday, like for Airbnb, and you can purchase before the market. Again, are you purchasing before the market, or are you waiting for the market to open?
As far as I know, everywhere does not let you purchase options before the market opens.
No, I don't mean options. I mean actually purchasing the stock. If I'm not doing options.
Oh, I mean, I would wait. I mean, that's just me because, a lot of brokers don't even open until the market opens. A lot of brokers don't let you trade pre-market or after hours. So you got a lot of volume that's going to come in there. And so if you go long on something and then market opens and the majority of everybody else goes short on it, then kind of gets you wrapped up.
I was going to buy my daughter the Apple Watch.
One
Since
sec,
he bought
one
one
sec.
for JD, they trying to give it to him no more. They fucked up. So she's gonna give it to my daughter, and I'm like, what?
Let's see. Does anybody have anything else that they're watching?
He comes in with that. I'm like, I'm trying to win me over. If it's gonna do, man.
There
So
was.
I only get one over with some type.
Let's look at Square. Square is a good constant money maker. Oh man, it might.
Ask you a question, which I know this one's not probably a smart one, but the reason I do it is because I've just
Don't get me wrong,
dabbed in it lately.
like, yeah.
But I've been watching it for like 6 months. LCTX. It doesn't have a lot of volume, so there's a lot of risk for manipulation. But consistently, it drops down to like 226, 228, and then pops back up to like 260 to whatever. And
Are you talking
your thoughts on that? Not necessarily options, but on
LTX?
yeah,
Lime Technologies?
LCTX.
LCTX, okay.
Yeah.
The Lineage Cell Therapeutics?
Yeah. Usually I don't dabble in that, but I have because, like I said, I've watched it for so long. It's just a pretty steady Eddie.
Well, I mean, let's see right here. Just gonna try to draw this quick, so don't make them specific. But what is it, Cash?
Oh, that's a bullflag.
Shee.
I'm over here looking at something bearish, so I was like, wait, what?
And it's down low too, so it's got a lot of room to run.
Well, but actually, that for me has been pretty high. The 260s have been pretty high.
Yeah. I mean,
I usually have been playing it even shorter than that. Like I just jump in at 226, 228, let it go up to 260, 270, and do it kind of on a shorter, like few day time frame.
Well, you can see here that it's been on a bear trend for a while.
Right.
And so it broke out of that, and then it took off ripping. But now, you know what a bull flag is?
Well, I know what it looks like, but...
So that's, I mean, if I've ever seen a perfect one, it's right here. I don't know if I've ever seen a more perfect one. So it broke out of that bear trend, and now, so like when something does this, it comes up out of there, and then it kind of consolidates. People buy it up, they start accumulating it, and then eventually it breaks out, and 9 times out of 10 it's going to break upwards, and they're usually pretty damn powerful.
And are you waiting for that to confirm before you actually buy in, or
I mean,
knowing 9 times out of 10 it's going to go for you and just have a tight?
Yeah, if it's clear as day like this, like a bull flag, I would probably get in it. But since it's right here at the top, like you see this upper trend line here, since it's kind of right there at the top, and it's kind of got a couple red daily candles on it, I would wait. You know, it ain't gonna hurt you to wait. If you start seeing it break out of there, like with some momentum behind it, then just jump into it, because it'll probably run another $2-3. But if it I would just, it's most likely going to come down again, touch off here, and then once it comes to the end of this, it kind of coils up like a spring. All this momentum, like you can kind of picture in your head, it's building up like a spring, and once it comes to the end, if it makes it there, it shoots out of there in a hurry.
Okay.
So I'd watch that sucker. That looks good, honestly.
What is this one?
LCTX.
Yeah.
And yeah, me either.
It doesn't have a lot of volume, so it can be kind of tough to buy in and get out quickly, because there's not a lot.
Square here on the 4-hour chart is looking mighty fine. This is a pretty easy money maker to always go into to trade, but it's on support on SQ. For anybody trading options, they make pretty decent money on Square.
Okay, so when you're doing these, like, what are you doing weeklies, dailies?
It depends on the stock, really. I mean, something like Square, Tesla, stuff like that, I'm gonna be in and out probably in 5, 10, 15 minutes. So I typically, I mean, I will do weeklies if they're really expensive. But if you can, I always tell everybody, like, get what you can afford. But if you can, get something at least 2 weeks out, just so you got a little extra time if you need it. So
Because I've been trying to do options on like a Robinhood account with like $100 or less, and it's like really you need more than that to really kind of get in. I mean, you need way more to jump into Tesla.
yeah, but Cash is the queen of building small accounts. She started a long time ago with a $250 Webull account, and quickly took it to like $5,000. Then withdrew some money, took it back to $5,000. And she did all that on WFC.
Oh, that was my baby.
What are their contracts usually worth, Cash? Like $40 or something? Depending on the day, yeah.
Yeah, 40.
Lay down.
So I mean, that'd be like half your account, which wouldn't be suggested, but if you can get good at calling the direction, you can quickly get more than $100 account and be on your way. Usually, I like to tell people to, like, if you're new at trading, don't play with no more than 25% of your account. It's hard to, trust me. It's hard not to YOLO the whole thing on Tesla, but.
And that's why I'm like, look, it makes more sense for me just to take, the small money account and go for a funded account.
Do they fund accounts for stuff like the stock? Like, I thought that was just for Forex.
No, yeah, I mean, you do Forex indices. Just depends on the broker. Like, I'm looking at FTMO right now, and it's like, okay, like,
Yeah.
throwing 300 into an account and like, possibly blowing it. Like, I could do swing. I do better at like just setting and forgetting it.
Yeah.
If I'm watching the direction and I'm like, okay, hey, I'm confident it's gonna go up or it's gonna go down.
Mm-hmm.
I just stick to one pair. I've been watching AUD USD for like the last 3 months.
Oh, that's my other one.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to get good at just one pair, and I'm like, all right, if I can do, I've been doing demos because I got tired of actually like, I don't know, blowing accounts trying to like trade US 30. But yeah, I'm like, all right, it makes more sense for me instead of just saying, okay, hey, look, I tried to get ballsy with gold and blew an account. And like, okay, let me take that same $300, turn it into 25,000, and then
Something I did figure out with US 30, and I didn't realize this until I started the small account challenge, is that it is a lot harder to trade US 30 with a small account than it is with a large account.
Absolutely. If you're sizing your positions right, you're not worried if it goes against you a little bit. And I'm telling you, with US 30, this is not advice, but every time I held it, I would come back. Eventually, I'd come back into profit, and I'd be able to take profit. But you have to have that account size, and you have to size your positions right. Because if you oversize, you're gonna get closed out, and your entire account could be gone, just like that.
Yeah, quick.
But if you size it right, you're good to go. Man, it was.
I was doing NOS for a good while.
I'd say once I took that $600 to 2,500, 3,000, and keeping my size right, like, I wasn't worried about nothing.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty nice. I got cocky and lost $8,000 though, so don't think emotions don't affect me.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Everyone's capable of losses.
I could have, let's see, it was like 2,900 profit, and I was like, no, man, screw that. I want to see $3,000. Never saw $3,000.
Oh, that's my problem. Is I try to go for the even numbers.
It's crazy. I tell people all the time. Like, if you ever tell yourself that, I just want to see if it'll go a little more, that is your exit.
Get out.
When you say that, get out.
That was JD. I was up $2,000 on JD and was waiting for like 5 cents more.
Yep.
And the damn thing dropped.
Every time you say it to yourself, it never fails to happen.
Yep.
Did the same thing last week with OCGN.
Oh, thank you. Missed that one.
Yeah. It went up to
I took on out at 18. Yeah.
1866 it went to, and I ended up getting rid of it at 13 something.
Oh, I still have it.
So I learned a little bit more.
Yep. Well, I just felt like I missed it. I didn't check it when it was 18. I came back in and it was a 17.50.
Every time.
Soda?
Yeah, Square is looking good for some calls, possibly come Monday or Tuesday.
Do you feel like Starbucks has also kind of like recovered and is going to kind of consolidate for a little bit now?
Stand by, I'll check it out.
SBUX?
SBUX?
Yep.
All right, let's see. Oh man, it looks similar to Square.
How long you been doing this, Dylan?
Probably 3 or 4 years, like seriously.
For real?
Yeah, and then before that, probably a few more years, just like on and off at the job.
What is your relationship with Vision, Dylan? Do you program it or?
I've played with it. Josh is the programmer though.
Oh, Josh is the programmer.
Yeah,
Okay.
Vision was created by me and Josh.
It is very helpful, I've got to tell you.
Thank you.
It's a nice kind of way to confirm your gut for, if you've been doing things for a little bit. It's a good way to kind of really refine your ins and outs.
Thank you. Let's see. It does look like Starbucks is trying to break out of its bearish trend
Who's
here.
over there beating their kids?
My bad. Nah, it ain't me. So yeah, Starbucks was in a bearish trend, but it
Yeah, it went down at the end of last week, and I picked it up because it was kind of on sale and thought it might run a little bit, but I wasn't sure how quick we're going to get to the top and then start to consolidate.
I look for it. See how it's pulled up over out of this trend.
Yeah.
And this 4-hour candle here closed and opened above.
Yeah.
So now that it's broken out, the textbook says that it needs to pull back to test this previous trend line. So expect something like this week. Exactly. If it wants to keep going bullish, if everybody wants to keep it moving in a new bull trend, expect for it to come down, test that, and then rip up again.
So maybe just pick up some more if it comes down.
Yeah. What's your current position at? You got it pretty low?
I have big accounts, so but I don't do a whole lot. I've got 3,500 in it right now. Picked it up at 105.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Man, you bought that bottom right there.
That was when I actually hit the bottom. I was like,
nice.
And I run anywhere from a position of 2,000 to like 30,000.
Okay.
On different things, so it just kind of depends.
Nice.
But that was one. Yeah, I wasn't sure how much higher it was going to go, or.
Yeah, I just look for a pullback come this beginning of the week. But just watch that area right there on that where that trend line is. Watch that area because you want to make sure if it breaks that and like if it pokes below it a little bit, don't worry about it too much. But if it starts getting below it good, I would be at it. I would say probably if it gets under 113 where that support is, I would just go ahead and take your money.
Okay.
And then look for it to get back in maybe later on,
Back. Okay.
Yep. Because it'll come.
There's really people on here who actually trade equities. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. Hey Dylan, can you bring up AVAX?
Is that the ticker?
Yes.
AVAX.
Crypto.
So I need to put in USD with it?
Apparently. I didn't know.
What is this?
Oh, it just came out.
What the hell? Let me run this date back a little bit.
Are there any advantages to using any of the other vision settings besides like scalper?
Well, that's only that's like all I use. I think a lot of people like to hold, and I'm just not a big fan of it. So it, on the Scalper 1, you guys don't have Scalper 2 yet. Well, some of you do that are testing it. Soon, everybody will have it because we're going to be working on a lot of the signals and stuff, but that will be for update 1.4 or 1.5. But for 1.49, you guys will get Scalper 2, and that's the one I kind of dipped my hand into coding, and then I was like, hey, Josh, do this and this for me, and then it'll be good. But I'm kind of biased towards it, but yeah, I just like how it gets in and out. Like it calls it right on the trend line for me a lot better than like beginner and intermediate likes to hold it. It's trying to hold for the moon. It seems like a little bit more. Advanced is really good though too. But scalper is just, the scalper modes are just where I like to hang my hat apparently. What is this, Cash? What is this AVAX business? And why did it open at like $65 for a coin?
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Pardon me if I pronounce this wrong. ArcFan is the one that brought it up, asked for our views on it.
I got you. Well, I mean, there's not really too much to say about it just because there's not very much data on the chart. You can't really do anything. Like I could draw this trend line here, but really it means nothing because it's so new.
Cointelegraph actually has it on the currency to watch this week.
I mean, it's been ripping. But since there's not much data on it because it came out, October 1st, huh? Or no, at the end of September. Yeah, there's not, I mean.
Wow.
That trend line might come into play, but like I said, like it's so new that, it might not.
Speaking of coins, I'm watching Street Outlaws. He's got a T-shirt on that says Karma Coin. Anybody seen that one yet?
Never heard of it.
I haven't heard of that one.
It's on his T-shirt.
That's cool. I wonder if they created it or something.
On TV. So.
Did Red ever come in here, Cash?
Usually he speaks up if he does.
Oh, he is. There he is. Red, why aren't you saying nothing, bro?
What the heck, Red?
Jeez. He might have been talking. I just can't hear him. I'm gonna go back to the square chart and save it because I love trading square.
I spoke up when you were talking about WFT, but no one heard me.
Yeah, your mic's kind of a little quiet.
I'm quiet?
A little bit.
Does anybody swing?
I swing.
Who's this?
That's Tammy.
Calm down, Red. Calm down.
Either.
Calm down, Red.
Did you say not peas in a bowl?
Not keys in a bowl. So not couple swing, but trade swing.
Oh, is that what they do? Pick out keys?
You go to a party and you put your keys in a bowl, and then you pick out the other person's keys.
If you get somebody that you don't want, you just say those aren't my keys.
I guess I've never heard one of those. So apparently they put a color like rock out in the front yard that denotes that that's a swinging house.
Sheesh. Red's gonna find out what that rock is. Red's gonna find out what that rock is now.
And I'll say we swing because I just started trading this year, and it's easier for me to go a little bit longer on things because then when I make mistakes, I can recover a little bit easier.
Easier with a job too.
What are you shooting for with swings? Like 5 to 1, 10 to 1?
I look at percentages.
I was gonna say it depends on the stock and it depends on the day. Like, with Tesla I want to see like $1,000 gain, but with some of the others like it depends on if they haven't done much for me and I pegged it wrong. Sometimes a couple hundred is good enough. It really just depends. So
You know, don't take this the wrong way, but like honestly, like there's a part of me that would hope you would drop my keys at one of those parties.
Here's Starbucks. Really, everything, or not Starbucks, Square, and some of the other things that we went over earlier would really be good for some swings. I mean,
yeah.
What I do on swings and day trading them is look at, like, I don't know if you guys, everybody knows about Vision SNR. It's a free support and resistance indicator that we created, and I mean it's spot on. Let me turn off
Where
this.
do you pull that up? Do you pull that up under the function?
The same thing like the FX indicators deal.
Yeah.
You would go there and just search Vision, and it should come up. Let's see. Community scripts.
Free ones too.
It is Vision SNRs, Vision reversal zones, Essentials MACD, Essentials RSI, and Essentials Stochastic.
And then the Vision reversal zone.
Reversal, and then MACD, RSI, and Stochastic there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I do on
back and forth between Vision and another one to kind of, because then the chart doesn't get too busy for me.
Yeah.
So that I can get
yeah.
support and resistance off of another site.
Same. I always like to hit the eyeball on a lot of the stuff. Like I've got reversal zones on here, and I've got some other indicators hidden, like Stochastic and stuff like that. But the way I look for like how much profit I'm looking to take off the table is like, one, I look at percentages, and usually your options percentage is crazy. Like it's not something like you'd see on shares. You can quickly hit 100% very fast on trading options. But like,
well, and I want to eventually get into that. I just feel like I'm too new, and I need to, yeah.
But with the SNR indicator, if I have a resistance, which would be my red lines there, that means they're a resistance, and if it's a green line, that means that it would be a support if it came down to it. Right. And if it turns yellow, that means that it's testing it or going through it. But the first resistance, so say I bought in. Let me move this. Let me move that label. If I bought in on this support, let's label this entry. And so I'm looking, okay, well, where would my take profits be if I didn't follow Vision's take profit signals, which are always on point? This would be my take profit 1. And so I would look to take some, not all, if it still looks strong anyway. And so the next resistance point would be my take profit 2. And if I still had some left after that, then I would go to my next resistance point. And this would be take profit 3. And that's where I'd...
When it just touches the line, or are you waiting for it to go over the line?
No, as it's coming to it. I want to make sure I get filled,
Some other people say that you want to, the retail investor is usually getting out like right at the line or right before the line.
Yeah.
But the big guys are waiting until after the line, and you kind of want to stay in a little
bit until after the line. There's no promise of it going after the line, And then by then, there's a lot of people it's already sold. The reason I take profit on the way to the line is because I want to make sure I get filled quickly. If you wait and it starts to get resisted there and pull back, well, your limit just got missed probably because you were waiting too long, So I want to get in while there's still volume going through. People are still buying them. But I mean, it just depends on the stock that day, on the move. If it's ripping, I might hold it till it hits that take profit 2,
Okay.
But usually, if I am looking to hold on to something maybe for 30 minutes or more, I'll do something like this. But a lot of times, I don't even think about it in my head. Like at take profit 1, if I have a decent profit and the percentage is there that I like, I'll take it all at take profit 1. I mean, I'm not going to be greedy because that usually gets you.
It gets you in trouble.
Yeah, I just want to see if it'll go to take profit 2, and well, you should have got out.
Yeah. Well, I'm just starting to get quick enough to do that within like the days. Typically, though, I've been slower and been doing it more like a couple days, that type of thing. I hadn't started till maybe the last couple weeks or months trying to do intraday trading.
Yeah. Well, do you have a just a daily job somewhere, or?
Actually, no. I used to work in healthcare, and before COVID, now with COVID, I don't anymore. So now I've never not worked since I was 12.
Sounds
so
like
I
it
was
did you a favor.
Let's do this. So, and now I'm making more than I ever made in my healthcare
Amen.
job. So,
hell
I think
yeah.
I'm up this year like 80,000 so far. So,
sounds like God did you a favor.
Yeah, this has been a good year to learn. I don't know that that's gonna like I could make mistakes and come out okay eventually. Next year, I don't think that's going to be the case. It's not going to be as forgiving.
Well, if it sounds like you know what you're doing, at least enough to make good money at it. So if you just keep your sizes right, you should be fine. That's usually everybody's problem is they go in with too much of their account on one or two trades, and then when it goes against them, they're screwed.
Well, and that's what I kind of the biggest advice it seems like from everyone is that it's rinse and repeat,
Yep.
small moves.
Yep.
All the time. It's when you get greedy, and I've seen it myself. Like when I try to get greedy and try to be like, oh, this is going to be a big money maker, that's when I get hosed.
Oh yeah, I struggle with it all the time.
Yeah.
What's the best charting software for beginners to use?
I would say TradingView.
Trading.
Yeah,
I see there's like a cost to that. I mean, after trial, right?
They have a free account. They have a completely free account, but you'll be limited on some data. So some of it will be delayed a little bit, and then they try to upsell you, and tell you can only do like 3 indicators at a time.
Do people trade from these charting accounts?
Oh yeah, I do every day. I look at TradingView and then trade on my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do TradingView and then I trade through E-Trade, but I've also used Thinkorswim. That one's good.
That's a good one too. Yep, they have some pretty good charts. They're a little more dated.
And then I never trade through Robinhood, but I will use Robinhood on my phone to track other things if I'm trying to not. I don't have too many screens right now, and so like that allows me. I just do it on my laptop, and then I can use my phone to kind of follow along with some other things without getting too many charts open on my computer at one time.
Yeah, Thinkorswims, I would say it's a really, really good one. But the last time I seen it, they have a lot going on that could confuse newer people, and it seems a little bit more dated looking compared to like trading.
What also really helped, and this is I'm just doing the free one bar chart. Bar chart is nice because it doesn't have a lot of crap on it if you're new.
I've heard of that before.
Does anybody have any input on interactive brokers?
A lot of people use them from Europe and Canada, I believe.
I'm in Canada. I'm just setting one up right now and transferring.
I believe they still charge commissions though.
From Quest Trade into interactive brokers, so I'm hoping for the best.
Yeah, every time I ever seen anybody looking for an account in Canada or Europe, they always recommend interactive, but I do believe they still charge commissions.
They do, but they're very low. Like I figured it out. Like on
nice.
If I bought 100 shares of something, it's gonna be like 50 cents.
Nice.
Each way. With
Good.
Quest Trade, it's like it can be $11 or more.
They go off the amount or something or the price.
Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. Like. And options too. Like options, I have to figure that I have to make at least $22 to even pay for the commission. With interactive brokers, it's going to be like under $1 each way.
That's good.
It's going to be a lot easier to get in and get out and just take a little bit of profit. That's just kind of my goal here.
Yeah, I would go with them then for sure. All right, let me pull up another window here. We'll look at some FinViz and see if we can find anything. See if we can find anything interesting to go.
What are some stocks with like lower premiums for small accounts?
We'll look some up. Let me get this screen swapped over here. Can you see it, Cash? There it goes. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so go to screener.
Yeah, thank you, Dylan.
It's worth paying for FinViz?
I honestly don't know. I never have.
I was gonna say I use FinViz and I just use the free version.
I do think if you pay for it, because like all these charts here that we're looking at, they are defaulted to the daily chart. But if you go, I know that if you pay for them, you can view these charts on any time frame. And so, like, you see how these kind of call the pattern for you? Like, it'll call it a wedge or a flag or, channel up, strong, channel down. It'll show you that stuff. I'm pretty sure in real time on any time frame. Don't quote me on that because I don't know because I've never paid for it, but I'm pretty sure that's what they do. But if I choose the channel strong, that's usually and then let's see what should we price it under,
Yeah,
Cash?
I'd be interested to see that because I think the base paid thing is $25 a month or something like that, which isn't too bad. And
No,
if you
that's not
could
bad.
look on daily charts and it still gives you those trend lines drawn in automatically, that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah. So here's some channel up. I believe it's channel up strong. So a nice strong uptrend. Under $10. Here's 11 of them that they have going right here. I usually look for names that I know. I don't really see any that I've seen CVV before.
These usually change every day, or those
Yeah, they'll change every day if the chart changes, Got a lot of damn ads on here though.
So I've got smoked off, it's like you try to get one of the high ones, and then it just buy at the top. You're like, oh shit.
Let's see, and then they have let me find it. They have a filter on here that I usually hit just to make sure that you can buy options on it. It's somewhere on here. Just gotta find it again. It should say optionable.
To the right.
Yep.
Up.
Yep.
Option short.
Huh?
Above RSI.
Above RSI. There you go. Yeah. Optionable. Okay, now we'll bump this up a little bit.
Good night, all. I gotta get up before 4 a.m. Talk to you guys later.
All right, man. Good night.
Have a good night. Oh, BBVA. That one sounds familiar.
Which one was it?
BBVA. Oh, there's a good amount of them.
Mm-hmm. I've seen ROIC somewhere before. Looks like that'd be good put opportunities on that one. Oh, Cash, what's the ticker for Alibaba? AB BABA? Nah. Sheesh.
Which I'm holding shares of right now. Way down.
If it breaks that 50, we should get some puts. You buying puts tomorrow, Rhett?
Probably not.
So if you were to buy a put on that tomorrow, what would your strike be like? Something down by that support line?
No, I usually get at the money. Not in the money, or technically it's out of the money, but it's like the first one out of the money. That's usually what I get. So I'd imagine it'd probably be.
And then like a 2-week expiry.
On this, it'd probably be pretty safe to get 3 or 4 weeks out, because it'll probably take a few days to get down towards that support line on this downtrend here. But yeah, it depends on how fast you plan to take profit on it.
Same day or next day would be nice.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't get same week. That's just a little risky. 2 weeks out would probably be good.
So 3 or 4 you're saying, okay.
Yeah.
And then just the inverse for when you're going calls, then you just get if the next one out of the money. And
Yeah, that's kind of my rule of thumb is I usually start at 2 weeks, but if it's something I might plan to hold for maybe, like if I bought it Monday and I plan to possibly hold it all the way till Friday, I might add another week or two to it. Depends on really how slow the stock moves. You know, like Apple moves really slow most of the time, so if I'm trading Apple, then I'll usually put a little extra on there. And it also depends on how much they are at the time. Like Apple's probably gonna be a put day tomorrow, just judging off this.
all right, I am going to try it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. These dang ads. Let me switch back to this trading view.
Can you take a look at PayPal, please?
On trading view or Finviz? With the normal charts, probably. Let me close that. PYPL, right? Yeah. Oof.
So when are you switching between the 1 and 4 hour? Is it better trend lines on the 1, but just see the overall direction on the 4, or what?
Yeah, 4 hours usually kind of the main one, and I never usually go to the daily. I'm a fan of the 4 hour, but 1 hour I usually stick on most of the time. It just tends to show a little more, kind of what I'm looking for. PayPal is looking pretty bearish, but most likely tomorrow it'll pick up a little bit, but not to change its direction. I don't think. They have earnings tomorrow too. So it could be good for them or bad. But right now they're not looking too hot.
US 30 posted some good ones.
Where at?
In the general chat.
Hell yeah.
Hey, when you guys are trading US 30 or NOS, and it's stuck between the two middle support resistance lines, and it's bouncing between those two, but they're really tight together. Do you think that's even worth trading with a 0.01, or would that be barely any moves? Because the spread seems to eat it up a little bit.
It depends on how tight.
I don't that because of the spread.
So do you wait till it goes above or below those two middle ones then usually to do anything?
Pretty much, yeah. Now if NOS is doing that, then I may scalp here and there, just because the spread on that one is super small.
Because I've seen in your Padawans thing, is that how you say that?
Yeah.
It looks like you're scalping literally 2 or 3 candles worth, but I feel like when I was doing a 0.02, it had to move quite a bit for it to go in the positive.
Yeah, with US 30, if it's in that small area, you really do, unless you're doing a large lot size, unless you literally just want to scalp a couple dollars. But with NOS, it's a lot easier.
Alright, so switch to NOS.
Honestly, that's what I've done.
Small account for sure. Till you build.
My account size is bigger.
Till you build it up.
Small account people. Y'all are killing me. It's okay though. Gold is my friend. Well, not
Does anybody have any questions on drawing trend lines? Also, for vision users, do me a favor and try out what I'm showing you right here. After you find out like what the direction is on the stock, switch off. Like right here, you see it's a bullish trend. Obviously, it's US 30. All it does is win, 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 no matter what. Switch off the bear side. I mean, if you're a pretty experienced trader, like trading US 30 especially, you can have them both on. That's fine, because we all know we're looking for short opportunities up here towards the top trend line. But if you're new to vision or new to trading in general, switch off after you find the direction. Switch off the other side, and just go with the direction of whatever you're trading. And then when you do that, so a lot of people that jump on vision automatically just come in here and start hitting every signal. And a lot of times they're good, but sometimes, when there's a lot of people that are trying to shove this up, it'll pop a bull signal because, hey, there's buyers coming in there. But we don't want those. We only want these signals that are right on our trend line. And as you see,
if they were swinging it, those bull signals would be on.
well, I mean, if they're swinging it, but that's a hold for the moon AMC type of way. That's not the correct way to do it. So like the correct way is to only pick these bull signals that are on our trend line. And then follow your take profit signals. A lot of people ignore those take profit signals, and that's a big mistake. They are, man, they're just right on the money every time.
Like, how would you chart that?
How would I chart what?
Disney.
Disney? Let's go see. It's just DIS, right?
Oh, yeah.
DIS. Let me go to the one. Oh, okay. Let me zoom out a little bit. Make sure there ain't nothing else. Right. Don't know. Why are you asking me?
I'm trying to figure out what the heck it is. My stock news pops up. I don't even know what to talk about. Germany.
This one's kind of goofy up here at the top. Because kind of got two things going on. Let me put another one right here because it's kind of got it. Kind of got its own thing going on here. Right at the end. That's pretty good wedge, but it's at the end of it. And then it had, like, with the yellow one here, you see it's kind of got its own little wedge going on here because it broke out. See, this is where I talked about earlier. It'll break out and then come back to test it. You got to watch that because it's not every time going to break out, test it, and keep going up. So, it's kind of a coin toss depending on volume and how much momentum and the news behind it, etc. But it does look like it has earnings not tomorrow. What would this day be? The 12th. No. Let's see.
Did you see Elon Musk's tweet?
I did not.
Something about selling 10%.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said something about that earlier. But yeah, on here you can see that it gapped up, most likely pre-market to open. Kind of gapped up there, and now it's kind of hit that main resistance of this little wedge that it's got. So I just watch it there. Most likely they're going to try to break it out of it again. So you could probably get some calls if it starts to break out, but get out of them because it should come back and test that and maybe do one of those moves. But it could, since this is technically a resistance, it could come down here to bounce too.
Just watch it there.
Yeah, watch it. Just you'll know probably pre-market will probably tell you a lot of what it's planning on doing for the day, and then I'd watch it at open for the first 15, 20 minutes at open and see what it does. I definitely wouldn't jump on it being that it's at a resistance right there, because some people are going to try to break it out. Some people are going to try to push it back down.
It's an iffy area.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the 50-50 zone.
So what are we gonna do, George?
Anyway, let's see. Does anybody have any questions? Let me see how long this has been recording. Yeah, we're over an hour right now, so it's going to take a while to upload.
Hey, do you know anyone who does like leap options?
I do not.
Because I was wondering if like the rate of change, like the delta, I think it is. It's like it has to move quite a bit for that to like do anything, doesn't it?
Well, to make money on options, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Leaps, I mean, from what I understand about leap options is like you're just kind of planning on holding them, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, if something's on a good trend, you know, and you expect it to keep going in the direction you want it to go, and if they're affordable, you know, buy. A lot of stuff I see has 2 years out usually. So if you can afford them, buy a couple years out.
Yeah, the big boys are a lot. It seemed like 50K like Amazon contract.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Rhett money. Rhett likes to trade that stuff.
Damn right there.
Chris said, "Can you check out Apple?"
I thought I just looked at it. Oh, I think that was on Finviz.
He said I was chiming in, my wife was asleep next to me.
Kind of in a limbo here.
Wait, what is
So that's the 1 hour there. We'll dump it down a wee bit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Probably hold the moon. It just got a bull signal on the 15 on the trend line. Chris. I don't know. Can he see my screen, Cash? Okay. Yeah, just got a bull signal.
What about is there a line there too?
Just got a bull signal there. You guys okay over there? Sounds like somebody's robbing your kitchen.
My son, he's driving his lawnmower.
Boy, you need to put that kid outside.
He said, I thought it looked like it was about in the middle of a full channel.
Oh, you know
Yeah,
what?
where's that other line?
Yeah, let me jump on the 4 hour here. Yeah, sure thing.
Oh, I was thinking on top.
Oh. Yeah. Yep, see, that's why sometimes you just gotta jump to the 4 hour. Let's see what the old regression trend says. This thing's usually off a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's off a wee bit. What, I mean, would you just look at it? I mean, would you just look at it?
Just look at it.
Oh, Dylan said just only the signals on the trend line. Would you just look at it? Man, I might have to start swing trading Apple.
I know, right?
Shee.
You know, we always say we're going to do that.
I know. We talk a lot of shit. Huh?
Yeah, really.
We're too busy trading the same thing every day over and over again.
Like, after 2 days, you were like, oh, I'm going to sell.
I can't help it.
Bro, it's hard, man. You're sitting there thinking, like, man, you sleeping, you're laying down going to sleep. You're like, man, what if they dump Apple tomorrow?
Right? You never know.
What if they put out one bad news on Apple? I'm screwed.
Exactly.
Except that one time I did swing it, and I made like $1,500 on like 3 contracts.
That's nice.
Yeah, because they're not very expensive contracts. They're usually around like $150.
Sheesh.
Yeah, real good returns on it.
Hey, you guys who are trading like Forex, I'm kind of trying to get into that, but is that all just like trend lines and stuff like US 30 and NOS? Or is it more like news?
It's both. It's
so does it trade similarly to that, to like US 30 and stuff, or no?
Oh yeah. The biggest thing is like with US 30 and NOS, you know, US news affects it more than any other. Obviously. With like let's say AUD US, Australia news is going to affect it. US news is also going to.
Cash must have gave her kid some coffee again. A plus parenting, let me tell you. You need to give that boy some whiskey and chill him out. Yeah, Apple, what's his name? Chris is right. It's in the middle of the trend here on the 4-hour, but let's see if we jump down a wee bit. You can see like there's this little trend inside there that I got drawn. And then if we jump down the 15-minute, we just got a bull signal on it. Looks like on all settings too. Advanced has it.
It's about to go and test that previous resistance.
Yeah. I mean, that might be what it's doing. It might just be kind of cooking up, trying to get up there to the top of that trend on the 4-hour there. Kind of like that main trend. I didn't draw the top trend line, but I'm pretty sure you guys could probably see it without me drawing it, huh? I guess I could put it in here for everybody. Let me move it around real quick. No, not the regression trend. What are you doing? Stand by. Let me wiggle this around a little bit. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so it's kind of in the middle of that, Chris. So, I mean, it'd be pretty cool if we all buy some calls on it right here, and it starts to pick up towards that resistance this week. I'd be okay with that. But a lot of times, like I told somebody this the other day, you notice how these parallel channels purposely have a midline. This isn't going to be exact, so don't judge on the percentages on both sides, but they have a midline because a lot of times these will get resisted or supported at the middle line of your channel. So good eyeballs on that, Chris. Bueno. But yeah, that'd be cool if it start breaking up there. I'll buy some puts on it up there. It's about at the same price that I swung it at not long ago. All right, if nobody else has any questions, Cash, I'm gonna cut it off so I can. This is gonna take a while to upload, an hour and 20 minutes to YouTube there. I'm with it, Chris. I am with it. All right, guys, I'm jumping off here. Message me if you guys have any questions. Just give me time to reply if you do message me.
He's working on a house, people.
Yeah, I'll be back to trading every day soon.
I did have one more about the Stoke, the Vision one.
Mm-hmm.
How are you using that on the 5, 15, or
Whatever you want.
on the daily play?
No, it ain't usually it's the same. I mean, it's good on any time frame.
So how am I supposed to read it?
Okay, so like you can see, I have the built-in stochastic here, and then Vision stochastic, and we built it in with a histogram, and those are just the bars to kind of give a better like visual idea of what you should be looking at, and then these the red line here, the yellow line, and then the green bar down here, and then that pink line. Those are common areas, and so I don't know if anybody. I did it in a video or live stream. I showed everybody on the RSI indicators and the stochastic indicators and MACD indicators. You can draw support and resistance lines on them. They always have a common point, just like everything else. So that's what those lines are, going horizontal on this indicator here. And then we created an average of the two lines on the built-in stochastic and made it just one, so it's easier for everybody to see. So when it comes down here touching these horizontal lines, you're looking for a long position when it starts to pick up, but you want to wait till it starts to actually pick up. And then, don't trade just based off that. Like, you want to see some other indications like volume or a big engulfing green candle, stuff like that to go along with it. But then just the reverse, once it gets up here and starts touching these lines, look for it to start coming back down and look for short positions. You see these take profit signals up here. If I turned on the bear side, we'd probably see a bear signal up here. So when you get some extra little confirmations in there, it's just stochastic. That's all I use it for, is just an extra confirmation. When I see it come low and start to pick back up, I look to go long. If everything else is showing me the same thing.
Is it more like momentum than overbought,
Exactly.
oversold, though?
Yeah, exactly. It's a momentum deal. So when it starts to pick up right here and then starts to lay back over and starts to head back down, that tells you that the momentum of the sellers is dying off. Yep, you're spot on. Yes, sir.
Okay.
No problem. Yep. If you guys have any other questions, just send me a message.
Thanks, Dylan.
Nope, no problem. See you guys later.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.